Hello my friends, new video today. This time we're going to be talking about the ILV token, or pretty much the Illuvium project in general. And you guys wanted me to update you guys on the token and the recent rebound that we've seen on the token price. As you can see, in the 90-day range, we've pretty much been moving from $100 to $120, and we've pretty much only just seen the sell pressure exerting its might on the token price, and the token price has pretty much fallen ever since. We can definitely see an intact downward trend regarding the past pretty much 6 months, you could say. And the same goes for the recent evolution of the token. We've seen it go down to pretty much $50 to $55, sometimes lower, sometimes a bit higher, but that's definitely the range we've been seeing for recent months. Basically, ever since mid-September to pretty much just 1 week ago, we've seen these low token prices and haven't seen any kind of rehabilitation from that. So, just recently though, we've seen a huge jump from the $55 mark to pretty much $80, as you can see here. And I actually wanted to update you guys on this. However, I was very busy in my private life, hence I couldn't update you guys right away. Basically, I'll just summarize what I wanted to say here anyway, and keep you guys updated on whether you should buy the token now, hold it, sell it, or just follow your recent strategy. So first of all, when you see movements like this and you're not quite sure what to do, like let's say we're in 20th of October, and you see, oh no, it's moving up. Maybe you're DCAing into it at the beginning of each month, and then you see, oh, it's moving up, it's moving up, it's moving up. Oh no, did I miss the train? Is it going upwards without me now? And then you see it's making huge movements. One thing you should always keep in mind: never ever rethink your strategy just because something is moving in a very fast speed. Because it doesn't really matter if it's upward or downward, but like when you see a stock or a token, a crypto, move within like 30% in a day, and you think, oh my goodness, should I sell everything? Should I buy everything? Should I just jump in with everything I've got, since now it's just going to move straight up to the moon? First of all, the very first thing you should always do is just sit back and think. Think about your strategy. Like, what was your strategy? As I said before, maybe you're the guy to always buy in at the first of the month. Then stick to your strategy. You've made the strategy yourself, right? Like you've set it up at the beginning of your investment into this project, or maybe it's your overall strategy that you use for every single project. Then just stick to it. Why would you jump into something that's not following your strategy? If your strategy is to, like, I don't know, follow hypes, like maybe try to predict the hype, maybe buy in when it's plus 5%, hoping it goes 20%, and then sell everything. I don't know. Maybe that's a strategy, then just follow along. I don't care. But if you're the type of person that has set up a plan and said, okay, I want to buy once a month, or I want to buy at set price targets. That's something people do as well. Like maybe you're the guy to say, okay, I'll buy at $50, I buy at $45, I'll buy at $40, and at $30, and at every single one you buy a certain tranche, a certain amount of token, or a certain amount of dollar value or ETH value of token. Then that's cool too. However, you should never ever fall for such movements, since usually if you see a big movement, it can of course mean that it's just going to go upward, and you see this walk up, and it's just going to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and you're suddenly at like thousands of per token. But usually in such markets, there's huge movement upward, followed by a huge movement downward again. And then if things go well, you're pretty much at a higher level in the long run. but that also doesn't really ever have to be the case. Like these big movements, they usually just in time measurements, meaning they usually don't really have a long lasting effect. It's just a short term thing. Most of the time, it's being sold off right away anyway, and the little thing that's left doesn't really matter all that much. But like, let's say you're type of guy to get overwhelmed by this. Maybe you see, oh, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. I have to buy it now, I have to buy it now. And then maybe you jump in at $75, and for a short time you're happy since it's now at $80, and you think, oh yeah, we will be seeing $400, $500, $600 very, very soon. But then it just keeps crashing and falling down again, right? Like, don't let the greed overtake you. Don't let these magical internet numbers influence your brain and your strategy, because that's ultimately, at least from my perspective, what leads to the downfall of most people. Most people just buy it at some point, then they see, oh, it's going up, they are very happy, and then it's going down again. Maybe they are in a huge loss. Then they either sell or they just hold their position, and when it goes up again, they buy again, and that's usually just followed by another downward trend. So that's something you should try to avoid. Like, don't let yourself be overwhelmed by emotions like greed or even fear. That's usually the worst type of thing to do. If you have no idea of investing, if you have no idea whatsoever, then maybe crypto isn't even anything for you in the first place. But if you really want to go into crypto or want to get smart with investments and stuff, then set yourself an investment plan that you strictly follow along. And usually, it's best to do your research beforehand, right? Like, some people buy into a project at, like, I don't know, thousands of dollars. Let's say you bought in at like, I don't know what's the price we've already seen. Like, let's say you bought in like $1,500, and then you see, oh no, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down, and you sell everything at some point, like maybe $100, and just made a 90% or 95% loss, and that's it. That's not exactly a smart strategy. You should usually sit in there from the very beginning, think, is it worth to buy the entire project at this current price? And always think from a perspective where you buy the entire company or the entire project for that price. Like, never really watch the current circulating supply. Always have a look at the total supply that's going to be in the market at some point. And that's where you should think, would I buy this token if this were the current market capitalization of this project? And if it isn't, then just don't buy it. And if it is, then buy it, but stick to it. Don't just rethink your strategy every single day and sell everything, buy everything. That's just how you're going to lose a lot of money in the long run, especially with crypto. Like, with stocks, people lose money by buying at not so smart entry points and selling at not so smart outward points as well. Like, they usually buy in a high price because they see it in magazines, on the internet, and articles. People say, yeah, buy into Meta, buy into Meta. It's going to be the metaverse, metaverse, metaverse. And then Facebook, aka Meta, releases their data, and it's looking not so great anymore, and all the articles changed their mind. But now the stock is quite cheap, but everyone's selling their stock, right? Like, think smart with your money. Do your research beforehand so you only get the smart, the good crypto, the good stocks that you would like to hold for a very, very long time, usually at least 5 years. And then once you've done that, you can invest a small portion of your money, but never ever buy into a rebound or maybe just a bull trap, a bear trap, whatever. It doesn't really matter at all. Like, set up your strategy and then just stick to it. That's why this rebound followed by the crash that we've been seeing pretty much right away, and that's been followed by the short crash on 1st of November, where we pretty much went from $67 back to the 60s and high 50s. It doesn't really matter all that much. It's not a big thing. You shouldn't interpret too much into this. Naturally, all this is stimulated by macroeconomics and, of course, also the ETH price. Like, right, like, especially when I show you the ETH price compared to Illuvium, you can see that all the movements are pretty much coupled to each other, right? Like if you see ETH marching up, then you see Illuvium marching up, and same goes the other way around. Like, so just chill, just relax. Um, Naturally, you'll always see movements that you don't quite agree with or that you don't quite like. That's totally fine, and that just happens. It's a normal thing. But set up your strategy and just invest what you can really afford to lose, and then it doesn't really matter all that much. Look, right now, personally, let me see. Let's look into staking. Oh yeah, staking Illuvium and connect my wallet. One sec. So, like, let me show you this, right? Like, I personally, I've got 5 Illuvium, which is a very small amount for me. It's like $300 or something that I put into this. And I just got it 1.5 months ago. I staked it in here, and I just didn't care about it whatsoever. I don't care if I make money, I don't care if I lose money. Everything today doesn't matter to me. In a couple of years, we can talk about the value, we can talk about the Illuvium project, but right now, why would I care whether the price is at like $50, $60, or even $500? I don't care whatsoever. Like, there's not a single thought that would make me rethink my strategy for the token price at this current point in time. Since I set up my strategy way ahead. I set my strategy pretty much 1 year ago. That's when I set up my strategy for Illuvium. And ever since, I've been waiting for a price where I would say, okay, this is a price where I deem the project a buy. Not even an outperform or a strong buy, just a buy. And that's pretty much the token price we see right now. The $60, $50 mark. That's where I start to invest. That's where I start to build a first entry point into this project. And that's also where I put my own valuation numbers of the project. So that's where I feel it's a nice point to get into it. And the next thing that I would like you to know is that you should never, ever put all of your money into one project, because that's just as bad. Naturally, I've already told you that you should do your research in advance, and you would say, yeah, but if I do my research in advance, then why can't I just put all my money into one stock, one crypto project? It wouldn't really matter, since when it's a good project, you're just going to, I don't know, 100x your money. Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's true. However, in reality, we are just humans, and you can always make a mistake when doing your research. No one guarantees you that the research you do is done correctly, and no one is actually going to guarantee you that the numbers add up, right? Like, um, we've seen so many financial scandals, companies faking their data, and especially with the metaverse and online gaming and stuff like that, and crypto, there's always a bad aftertaste in general for me, right? Like, there's always numbers that are inflated, there's always um, manipulated information, and there are, of course, overly hyped people, and of course, overly bearish people who lost their money. So you'll never really get the current market sentiment out of this, and that's what's important. So you should learn from this that it's never really a smart idea to put all your money into one bag. Have your portfolio set up with all your investment goods, which is maybe stocks, maybe bonds. I don't know, like what your strategy information regards as your own investment preferences. For me, it's just stocks actually, and crypto. And then out of these, just sort out how much you would like to invest into highly risky crypto projects like these. And that's what you can actually afford. Like maybe a fraction of that is what you could basically put into Illuvium. Let's say you have 5 different crypto projects and you have like 5% of your portfolio that should be dedicated to crypto in general. Then you have 1% of your portfolio with Illuvium, but it shouldn't really be that much more. You could maybe do a lot more percentage-wise, of course, obviously, but I would never suggest putting any more than 10% of your portfolio value into one single project, since it may as well go to zero. That's always a possibility you should keep in mind. This could happen to Illuvium, this could happen to Axie, it could happen to Heroes and Empires, it could happen to Bomb Crypto or whatever other crypto projects that currently are out there, right? Like that's something you should always keep in mind, and it's not such a risk that it's almost zero. It's actually a really realistic risk that you should keep in mind. These projects aren't really like stocks; they are more like startups. When you buy a position into Illuvium, you should see this more as investing into a startup. You have a very high upside potential. There's always a huge risk of failure. No one is guaranteeing you huge player bases that are always gonna invest a lot of money into this project. No one is going to guarantee you that. So you should always be careful when getting your feet in the water, right? So that's my personal opinion on this. We've seen a huge rebound, and that was followed by a slow sell-off basically over the recent days, and now we are at a similar level that we've been before, a bit higher than before actually, but that's about it. There's nothing too special about this recent movement. Overall, the risks persist, so there's no really game changer that has happened so far. I would just suggest you to follow your strategy, and that's about it. If you've got any more questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Also recommend me new projects that I should maybe cover or look into, maybe warn about, or maybe show the risks of, and then we can discuss, of course, as we always do. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course, tell me whether you like this kind of format or not. That's it. Goodbye, guys.